Awesome. Hi guys, namaste. It's Jemma here from Kaya, and I hope you guys are having a lovely day. I'm so happy to be able to give you a slow yin flow today. So come over with me to your mat, find your space at home. Check in with yourself, what's around you. Do you need to turn the heater on? Maybe do you need to close the blind? If you can, make the room nice and dim. And a few props we could use today. Maybe you just want to find a cushion or a pillow that could double as a bolster. And you might need a blanket just to keep you warm or to give you a little bit of height when we take some forward folds. Throughout today's session, as well, I'm going to be weaving in some yoga philosophy for us all, because of course, you know, the yoga system is so vast. There's so much in there. And this might be a really good practice for you if you're interested in understanding some of the philosophical aspects of the yoga system. This might be a beautiful class for you to just build on your knowledge and at the same time have a deep reset in the body. So let's get started. Awesome. So come to your first pose. So once you've taken your time to get yourself organized, let's take a wide kneed child's pose, a super simple one. All we're going to do is open the knees to be mat width apart and join the toes to touch. Get your hands out in front of you. Make a big open handspan as you plant the fingers into the floor. With those knees open wide, just sink your butt back to your heels. Maybe sliding the hands forward, bringing the forehead to the floor, closing the eyes. As per usual with our yoga practice, let's start by centering ourselves. So let's take our awareness to the jaw. Mentally massage the jaw and make sure there's no tension in the jaw. Swallow and release from the throat. And give yourself a little scan, maybe starting at the back of the body, and scanning through your whole system. Feel the weight of the body sinking into the floor. Taking a deep breath, perhaps filling up the back of the lungs. Opening the mouth and sighing out the breath. So when we practice yoga, we always breathe in through the nose. The nose has those filters to purify the air. Very interesting in a pandemic to think about that as well, right? So always breathing in through the nose, but occasionally exhaling out from the mouth to release any stagnant energy from the body, and also to release any residual nervous tension from the body. So throughout our practice for the next 35, 40 minutes, utilize that exhalation out of the mouth when you feel like it. Maybe hearing that ha sound or that aspirant as the air leaves fully, fully, fully. So here for the next few moments with the head on the floor, and the eyes closed and the body heavy, the hands sinking. Give yourself a few rounds of bigger, fuller breaths. At the same time, maybe on your next inhalation, hold the breath in for a little longer than you normally would. See if you can let the breath fill up the back of the lungs, holding that breath in for just a little longer than you normally would, suspending that inhalation. And similarly, after your exhalation, full exhalation. See if you can hold the breath outside of the body for a moment longer than you normally would. So paying attention to these two bookends of the breath. The inhalation, when we retain the breath inside of the body, we're building our energy, our subtle energy. So we use the word chi or prana, subtle, invisible energy inside of the body. The inhalation builds that energy. The exhalation, or the retention of the exhalation, with the breath outside of the body. When we're doing that, we're producing relaxation for the nervous system. So the inhalation, energizing, exhalation, releasing. With the eyes closed, the ears open, start to draw yourself inwards, understanding your inner landscape is your home for the next part of this practice. Give yourself permission to cultivate a really nice, calm, expansive inner landscape for you, for yourself. Focusing on the full exhalation, leaving the body, visualizing that inhalation bringing in energy to your system. Check that that jaw is released. Let's mentally massage the forehead, the eyes and the cheeks. Mentally massage the shoulders, the collarbones. Mentally massage the hips, the thighs, all the way down to the feet. Feel the weight of the body, clear the mind. Exhale and sink. From here, your next inhalation, just come up onto the knees, coming into a tabletop pose. Bring the knees underneath the hips. Keep the hands where they are. Or if they've moved a little bit, just slide them back underneath the shoulders. Make sure those fingers are open, nice and wide. I'm calling this a yin flow because we're just going to move a little bit in our yin practice today. Just to help you with your home practice. We might not have all the props that we need. So let's just take a gentle massaging of the body now as we draw some slow circles all the way around the mat. So getting into the corners of the body, you can keep the eyes closed. You can keep that jaw released. Breathing in nice and big. Exhaling all the way out to the end. Enjoying your practice. And change the direction of your rotation when you're ready. Moving in the opposite direction. And really getting in to the corners, warming up the hips, warming up the shoulders. Envisioning the inside of the body now. With those eyes closed, start to see the X-ray vision of the inside of the body. So seeing the body, the structure of the body, the bones, the muscles, your internal organs. Visualizing your inner landscape there, bringing yourself back to center. Bring those knees just underneath the hips again, restoring your symmetry in your tabletop. If you like, drop the belly and lift the head. But let's really just pause here. Give yourself a moment. Let the shoulders draw back from the ears. Let the chin elevate, opening through the front of the throat, and let that belly sink. Eyes can remain closed. Now, feel the body. Here we start to work into our yoga philosophy. The first port of call here is the feelings in your body. Start to understand the distinctions between the sensations and the framework of the body and the thoughts and feelings that are generated from the mind. Let's drop the head slowly, moving centimeter by centimeter as if you're doing Tai Chi. So dropping the head, tucking the chin, lifting the belly, making that really nice rounded spine. Feeling. So we want to turn up the volume on the feelings in the body, and that will have the effect of turning down the volume on the thoughts in the mind. So coming into the sensations, the skin, the touch of your clothes, the touch of the floor, anything that you can use as a reference point here to feel the body just as it is here and now. This is how we start to really generate mindfulness. When you're ready, as slowly as possible, the slower, the better. Start to drop the belly and lift the head. So the slower you move, the better. Let's start to unpack a little bit more of what's going on here. Holding that pose. And I want you to do you for the next 2 or 3 minutes. Move between this cat-cow super slowly, with intention, as slowly as you can go. Feeling the sensations in the body and letting the sensations bring you into an organic, spontaneous mindfulness. You know that word, mindfulness. Another word for mindfulness could be awareness. In the yoga system, we use the word samadhi, which means absorption. So samadhi is a benchmark that the yogi really wants to get to. This mindfulness, this state of mindfulness, we're not in the past, we're not in the future, we are here now, absorbed in the moment. This is a very healthy state for our brain, our awareness, and our mental health. Just as the physical practice of yoga is so good for your muscles, your bones, your organs, the mental practice of yoga is so good for your mental health, your well-being, your psychology, and your inner landscape. So the space inside of you, you're the only one in there. This is your space on the inside. So creating a beautiful place to live in. And it's not just the physical structure that we live in, but we also live in that mental landscape. Keep moving mindfully. Keep moving slowly. Take pausing at the top or the bottom. Maybe find that retention of the breath, holding in. Maybe find that retention as the exhalation, pushing the breath fully out. Check that that jaw is released and we're not putting any undue tension into our bodies. Keep those eyes closed. Just listening to my voice is enough for you to go into this practice. The most important thing is feeling the body as it is right here, right now. Give yourself an opportunity to be free, even if it's just for a split second. You're allowed to feel just as you are right now. No expectation, settling into your bodies after the next exhalation. When your head is next down, when your chin is next tucked, when your belly is next pulled up towards your spine, when you're in that rounded space with the thoracic spine, we're going to open the knees again, tuck the toes and take it home back to the mat. This is such a gentle practice today. And this is such a good practice for a really deep reset. Check that jaw. Release the forehead. No tension anywhere to be found. Good. Up onto the knees again in your own time. And now we're going to come into such a beautiful posture. You're going to love it. Swing the legs around, long, out in front of you. And you know what? You might be finding that you've got a bolster at home that you could use, but if not, a pillow will suffice. And if not, you might not even need anything. So you can do this without any props at all. All you need is your legs long and making an L shape with the body. You might like to pop a blanket or just anything, a jumper, a little cushion underneath your butt, just to give you a little extra length, a little extra availability. If you've got that bolster or the pillow, all you're going to do is swing it around and place it on top of your legs. It's so easy. From here, in our L shape, let's pick up an invisible bowl of water, holding it in our hands. Flex your toes back to touch the bolster and bring the shoulders away from the ears. Your invisible bowl of water, you're going to go and put it out on an invisible shelf in front of you as you come down, and wherever you get to, just come to your forward fold. Some of us might like to stack the fists. If we don't have a bolster at all, if we've got nothing, all good. Just let yourself slump. This is the easiest pose in many ways. Just folding in on yourself, that forward fold. We're letting the shoulders go here. The eyes are closed. Let everything be heavy. Clear the mind. And now let's keep working through our yoga philosophy, our yoga system here. So we have this beautiful physical expression of yoga, don't we? Yoga for the body, really beneficial through all those different variations, whether we're practicing vinyasa, hatha or yin. We can feel the positive effects of the strengthening work, the stretching work, the breath work. The whole physical system of yoga is supporting the health and the vitality of your body. But let's not forget that word yoga is very big. And just as you've got a body, you've also got a mind. And you've also got actions. So for all the other parts of us, there's parts of the yoga system that cover those areas as well. So here we've got the yoga that we're practicing for our body. That mindfulness that we're developing, that absorption into a state of awareness, that's yoga for the mind. This is called Raja Yoga. Raja meaning king. You know that word Maharaja, Sanskrit word Maharaja. Raja Yoga means any yoga that is working at the mental level. The reason why the word Raja is given to the mind is because the mind is said to be the king of the body. The body is subordinate to the will of the mind. If the mind says, let's go to yoga, the body goes to yoga. If the mind says, let's drink a glass of wine, the body drinks a glass of wine. So the mind is the king of the body, making the decisions for the body. However, there is a very strong relationship between your mind and your body. As you exhale, see if you can just sink a little further into your forward fold. Letting go, letting go, letting go. Now, as you keep sinking, let's keep using our yoga philosophy to practice at this mental level. So the mental level of the yoga system is to do with the awareness of the mind. But the relationship between your body and your mind is so important. A study that I heard of recently, this is quite interesting. is that loneliness. The effects of loneliness can be the equivalent of smoking 15 cigarettes a day. So let's ruminate on that for one little moment. Loneliness, something that we feel in the mind, yet the effects on the body are just as bad as smoking 15 cigarettes a day. So the combination, the connection between your mental state of well-being and your physical state of well-being is really undeniable. Okay, now that we understand that your mental health has just as much impact on your physical health as what you put into your body, now we can start to really think about how we can build on our health and well-being using these principles of yoga, meditation, mindfulness, and the connection between our bodies and our mind. As a yoga teacher, one of my major goals, my major intentions when I'm teaching you guys yoga is for you to feel that connection between the body and the mind. But there's one little trick that I'm going to talk about in a second after we transition out of that lovely forward fold. So when you're ready, reach for that invisible bowl of water first and lift it up over your head. Keep to that Tai Chi pace. Let the shoulders sink away from the ears. Let's let the hands separate and draw a big circle out to the sides of the room. Opening through those shoulder joints as we do so. And just taking your time, millimeter by millimeter, draw an invisible circle all the way around, letting the hands find their way into your lap when you're ready. Coming into your Dandasana, so that means the palms just facing upwards and the fingers gently curled, making that L shape with the body. Chin is nice and level. The tongue can go to the roof of the mouth. No tension in the jaw. Eyes are closed. Feeling the body, feeling the sensations. The sensations can act as a gateway into your mindfulness. Feeling the body without any judgment. When you're ready, take yourself all the way onto your back, bending the knees, and give yourself a big hug. So squeezing the knees into the chest. A little bit more dynamic here, just for the next few moments. Keep the back of the head on the floor. Just take the hands to the kneecaps and draw some circles with the knees, massaging your way around your lower back. Breathing in nice and deep, nose all the way to the navel. Exhaling out of the mouth with a little bit of volition. Good. Empty any nervous tension or anxiety out of your system. You know. Another easy way to understand this connection between the body and the mind is to think about a situation that you might have been a bit apprehensive about. Don't go into it too much, but just remember how the feelings of apprehension or nervousness might make your palms feel sweaty, or a lightness or a butterfly effect in the belly. Take the knees in the opposite direction when you're ready. So there you go. The mind knows something is going to be a little bit tricky, or you're nervous about something at the mental level. Very quickly, you experience those sensations at the physical level. All right, good. I'm so glad that we are starting to really develop our understanding of that connection between the mind and the body. Now, the next space for you to come to is stillness. Keep yourself on your back. Keep the neck nice and long and the back of the skull on the floor. Let's come to a happy baby here. Super simple. Wrapping the fingers around the outside edges of the feet. Or maybe the ankles. You don't need to have it on the feet. It could be the ankles. It could even be the calves. Oh, gee. Just pulling those knees down to the side of the ribs. Getting that middle and upper back onto the floor and opening the back of the body. At the same time, we're opening up there in between the legs and the thighs. You might gently rock from left to right on this one, just giving yourself permission to enjoy. Good. So we've talked about how the mind, yeah, it affects the sensations on the body. Give yourself some examples. The loneliness, oh, so sad how people would feel like that. We know that connection is really important for our mental health. We understand that that really affects the body. And we can take some analogies like maybe nervous energy or excitement and how that affects the sensations in the body. However, let's go the other way. Think about this. This is what we're trying to do in a yoga class, is we're trying to create sensations on the body for you that will affect your mind. So it works in both ways. So when you come to Kaya, when you work out, when you do a nice relaxing yin class, whatever physical stuff that you love to do, think about how that supports and nourishes that mental landscape, whether it's producing endorphins or whether it's producing relaxation. The body creates this climate and automatically the mind will feel more relaxed and you'll have a greater control over that inner landscape. Awesome. Body and mind connection. And of course, in yoga, we have one more connection, don't we? The body, the mind, and the soul, or the spirit. And we call that the Jiva Atman. So the spirit, soul inside of the body, inside of the being. Now, the physical body, that doesn't last forever, even if we keep it in very, very, very good health. So that part of you is not going to last forever. We understand this. The mental part, how permanent is that? You understand the very changeable nature of your mind. So when we start really working into our yoga process, we start to really want to bring through that relationship with our soul or our Jiva Atman, understanding these three major areas. There's two other sub areas in there. So we've got the body, with the mind, and with the soul. I'll talk about those two little sub areas in a second because it's super interesting. But let's just get you into your next wonderful pose. After you've enjoyed a nice, long, happy baby there, let's bring the legs down to the ground and just open the arms really wide. Maybe the palms face the sky. You can pick up your right leg and cross it over your left. See if you can double wrap, like you're sitting cross-legged in a chair and you're squeezing those legs together. Pop that left foot back down on the mat. Of course, it doesn't have to double wrap if it can't. That's all good too. With the fingers, let's add one little detail here before we take the twist. I want you to join your index fingers to your thumbs. So we make a mudra, bringing the index to touch the thumb pad when you're ready. And on the exhalation, just drop the knees to the left here and turn to the right. So a really easy twist, a deep twist, a relaxing twist. Maybe bringing the breath into the belly. Eyes should be closed. Sensations in your body. Use those sensations to activate your mindfulness. Your mindfulness is that space of stillness that exists within you. So coming in to that space, letting the shoulders sink to the floor. Physical yoga practice, yeah. Mental yoga practice, absorption, stillness, yeah. Got the soul, your Jiva Atman. And that's the goal. That's the goal of all of our yoga practice, is for you to feel yourself authentically as you are in your eternal form. Okay? So the soul is not made up of the material energy that makes up all of the atoms, particles that are here around us in this environment in the body. The soul is not made of material energy, which is great because the soul can't decay, can't change, can't die. So the soul, the understanding of your soul, the embodiment of the soul, your authentic self, that's the goal of our yoga practice. But there's two little other areas between the physical practice, the mental practice, and then that bhakti practice, the heart practice, the soul practice. It's the goal of our yoga system. There's two other little, or not little, very important aspects of the yoga system. It's the jhana yoga and the karma yoga. So we've got hatha yoga, physical yoga. That word hatha means all physical yoga. So vinyasa is really a type of hatha. Yin is a type of hatha. Hatha yoga. We've got raja yoga, mental yoga. Now we've got jhana yoga. Let's talk about jhana in a second. I want you to just roll back to center. Switch the configurations of your legs. Let's put the left over the right, double wrap, arms stay as they were. Exhale, over you go, releasing, letting go, letting go, letting go. Letting gravity do the work here for you. Surrendering the body's weight. Jhana yoga is just the philosophical practice of yoga. So understanding that there's the body, there's the mind, then there's the intellect. So here, as you and I ruminate over some of these ideas that are present in the yoga system, 7,500 years of yoga knowledge dating back to the Vedic culture in ancient India, and that 7,500 years of knowledge, unchanged, encased in the yoga scriptures or sastras, codified in this beautiful language of Sanskrit that is very, very, very nuanced. So the jhana practice of yoga is the yoga for your intellect. So as we practice intellectual yoga, what is that? Philosophical yoga. So questioning, checking, finding, asking yourself, is this the highest truth? Is this the best thing? Is there more? Is this the essence of what I need to know? And through this practice of jhana yoga, questioning, checking, inquiring, this is a really great practice to also incorporate into your yoga. So physical, mental, intellectual. What's another area of yourself? The other area of yoga practice is that karma yoga. Talk about karma yoga in a moment. Let's bring ourselves back home to center, coming back, coming back, coming back. And this time unfurl those legs and give yourself another hug, really squeezing in. Let's take the nose up to our knees, making a nice round back of the neck. And releasing the head. Let's take two more like that. The inhalation, the nose to the knees, pausing. Exhaling, letting the head come down. Super simple practice for you. Maybe one more movement if you like, nose up to the knees. And opening, bringing the head back down. So open the body and take the legs long. Cover yourself with a blanket if you need. Let the toes windscreen wipe, left to right. Karma, you know that word. That's a Sanskrit word, isn't it? It's a word that means action, cause and effect. So it's a very, very foundational understanding of the whole yoga system is there is cause and effect. Everything is cause and effect. Before we spoke about the material manifestation, that is the material energy, the body made up of material energy. All material energy is subject to karma, cause and effect. This is very good news because it means that everything happens for a reason. Let's also understand that Buddha taught karma, cause and effect. So the yoga system and the teachings of Buddha, very, very, very closely connected. Both coming out of this area, India and Nepal. Of course, Buddha taught 2,500 years ago, and the yoga system had already been well established for at least 5,000 years ago. But that idea of karma and the decay of material energy and the changing nature of material energy and the impermanent nature of material energy is there in the yoga system and in the Buddhist system. Karma, cause and effect. And on some levels, as you find yourself sinking into the floor here, on some levels, karma could be seen as a hindrance to our soul, because our soul is not covered by material, well, it is covered in some ways by material energy, but the soul does not consist of material energy. The soul is not governed by karma, yet the mind, the body, the universe, this material universe, is governed by cause and effect and change. So, understanding karma is a very good practice for your jhana yoga, for your raja yoga, and also for your physical yoga. Cause and effect could be understood so simply, right? You come to yoga, you work out, you get healthy. You eat good food, you get healthy. Cause and effect. It's also there in that third law of thermodynamics. So everything has an equal and opposite reaction, an action, reaction. And that action, reaction, action, reaction, building upon action and reaction is what cultivates or culminates rather in what's known as this material manifestation, Maya. In Sanskrit we call it Maya. Maya means this illusionary energy. So although this all looks so permanent, although it all feels so important, it's going to pass. And when we use our yoga mindsets and when we draw on our yoga philosophy, we can really, really, really drop into such a great space on the inside, because we know that our essence is our Jiva Atman, our spirit soul that cannot be destroyed. The Bhagavad Gita, one of the cornerstone yoga texts. Bhagavad meaning God and Gita meaning song. The Bhagavad Gita talks about the spirit soul, you, your essence, the part of you that feels the most part of you. That part of you is indestructible and doesn't die when the body dies. And it's said to enter the body on your first breath, and it lives in the heart center. And if you could see it, but you can't because it's made out of anti-material energy, but if you could see it, it would be so tiny. The Mukta Srimad Bhagavatam text describes the spirit soul as being 1/10,000th of a hair in size. But this presence of your energy, your particular individual amazing energy inside of your body is what lights you up from within. So if you would like to, for the next 5 or so minutes, lying here in your Shavasana, you might like to visualize a seed of light at the center of your heart. And see that seed of light glowing, shining, shining through every cell of your body, lighting you up from within. The presence of your energy inside your body is what makes you alive. It's what differentiates a living organism that is made up of molecules, particles, subatomic particles, no different from buildings or walls or rocks. They're made up of these particles. The difference is you inside of your mass of subatomic particles that is your body. You are what is making you glow and be alive. And just let yourself heal. So just as we talked before about how we could potentially be causing ourselves ill health effects from, say, loneliness or being stressed, let's flip that. I want you to really flip that. I want you to bring up your energy on the inside of your body. Turn the volume up on that seed of light inside of you and heal. Let every part of you heal. And if you don't need to heal, fortify, strengthen, build your immune system, build your vitality. Open through every part of you, and on the inside, visualize an inner landscape that is free, pain-free, expansive. Give yourself permission to sink and relinquish into the floor. Feel the whole backside of the body, from the top of the head all the way to the soles of the feet. Buddha, when he sat under the Bodhi tree for 16 years without breaking his posture, practicing this practice of Raja Yoga, so controlling his mind through his Vipassana meditation and inquiring into the nature of reality through his questioning, the Jnana Yoga. As he started to really travel in, he did understand that the framework of the body is just arising and passing away. Atoms, he called it a kalapa, the kalapa being the smallest unit of measurement, similar to the subatomic unit of measurement. And these kalapas, these particles, just arising and passing away at great rapidity, really, really, really highlighted to him the nature of change. So we understand that change is nothing to worry about. Change is par for the course in this world, but there's something inside of you that's never, ever going to change. And your job as a yoga practitioner is just to feel that space inside of you, find that space, love that space, be strong in your unchangeable self, and then smile at all of the changing circumstances that will come your way, and just smile and allow yourself to feel safe, feel at home in your soul. The word kaya, Sanskrit word, we know that word, really means the body. Bringing in your body, giving your body so much love from the depth of yourself, feeling the body to be glowing, feeling the body to be healthy, feeling the body to radiate. When you're ready, you might like to take in a few deeper breaths. Gently move the fingers, move the toes. Revisit this Shavasana. Revisit any of these concepts in the yoga system at any time throughout the next 5 or 6 weeks. We'll be here for you. We're here for you. We're here for each other. I hope you had a really nice practice. Let us know if there's anything else we can do. Please have a beautiful rest of your day. Take the next few minutes to transition into your seated position. And you might like to finish with whatever meditation, gratitude practice, prayer practice, devotional practice, physical practice, anything else that you feel like you would like to use after your yin session. I would just like to pay respects to the traditional owners of the land that we're all practicing on today. So always remembering them when we practice. And I'd also like to just acknowledge my yoga teacher and the yoga system. Thank you so much for letting me teach you yoga today. Have a great one. Namaste.